Hello and welcome to the Film Focus Online podcast. I am your host, Elliot Lines, and today we are looking ahead at a bumper year of movies, so buckle in for plenty of recommendations. Before I bring in my guest, if you're watching on YouTube or listening wherever you get your podcasts, be sure to hit the subscribe or follow buttons and never miss an episode. So, let's get into it. To help me dissect the year ahead is Film Focus Online writer Jack Ransom. Are you ready to dive into all of these films?
I'm ready to basically work out what films I'm going to actually use my work holiday to take a day off for and see. Otherwise, it just sits there. So yeah, no, it's going to be cool. When we sent through the list and we had a look through it, there was so much stuff that I wasn't even aware was coming out this year. It's going to be a really exciting, varied year, and I can't wait to dive into it.
Yeah, definitely. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of break this year up in all these films up into sort of subcategories, and we're going to go through those subcategories. And then at the end, me and Jack are also going to give our sort of wildcard options, ones that we're sort of looking forward to, on top of these plenty of films that we're about to go through. So we're going to begin then with sort of big directors. And the first big director I would like to talk about is M. Night Shyamalan's new film, Remain. Cast of this is Jake Gyllenhaal, Phoebe Devener, who was in Fair Play a few years ago. The synopsis for this is architect Tate Donovan arrives in Cape Cod to design a client's summer house. Struggling with the loss of his family, he moves into a historic home where he meets Ren, a mysterious young woman who challenges Tate's perception of the world. What have your thoughts of M. Night Shyamalan been recently, his sort of recent films?
I haven't really loved, like sort of on the level of Unbreakable or Split, like like his older stuff. I haven't loved one of his films as much as that era. That being said, Split came out in 2016, but that was fantastic. A real return to form, I thought. I really love Unbreakable, and I have a soft spot for The Visit. I need to rewatch The Sixth Sense. But I did like Knock at the Cabin, which was 2022. I thought that was like really solid. Just one of those films where the ending for me, it was kind of like an inevitable ending, despite the whole film being built around what's going to happen. Obviously, with M Night, you're just a lot of people you go in, and it's tricky not to spend you be. You're basically waiting for the big reveal, and that really determines how much you're going to enjoy probably the overall rest of the film. But I'll be watching this. I liked Knock at the Cabin. I thought Old was fine. Like I haven't seen a lot of his like late 10s, so I haven't seen After Earth, haven't seen the Avatar one he did, The Last Airbender.
I think we missed those ones.
From what I've heard, I can definitely miss them. Seen The Happening, which is what it is. But yeah, I'm very much intrigued. This I'm a big fan of Jake Gyllenhaal. I like how recently he's kind of he's like was going for awards and Oscar kind of films, so I'm very much on board for this, and I like again how the synopsis is enough. Like I don't need any more details. I'm already intrigued, especially because it's an M Night film, so a lot of it's going to depend on not knowing what's going on. Oh, of course, I can't forget Trap. Trap is great fun. That was
Trap is good fun. Yeah, definitely.
That I did enjoy.
So the next one from our big directors is going to be David Fincher, and that's The Adventures of Cliff Booth. So this is written by Quentin Tarantino, and it's obviously from the character from his film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I think this could be really good fun to see that character a little bit more. See a little bit more of that character. Did you like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Was that character you want to see more?
Love that movie. For me, it's one of my favorite Tarantino's. Like, honestly, it may be controversial, but easy top 3 for me. I love that movie. It's a real comfort movie for me. I've rewatched it twice at the cinema. I've seen it a couple of times since at home. For me, with this film, it's like, okay, this could be a dessert to a great main meal. It's a film I still can't believe actually exists. Like the idea of David Fincher directing a film written by Quentin Tarantino is like, dream come true, and set within the world of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. The only thing, it's a Netflix movie, so hopefully it gets a decent cinema release. I'm sure it will, with like like Quentin Tarantino behind it, even though David Fincher is very much Netflix focused now. But I'll be there day one. I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I love that era that it focuses on. And Tarantino and David Fincher are some of my favorite kind of filmmakers. So I'll be there. I'll be there day one. I still can't believe it actually exists.
It's a real movie. Whether it comes out this year
It's
or not,
a real movie. I
it's
know. I've seen
debatable,
the
but it
set
is a real
photos. I
movie.
still don't believe it.
So next we got Denis Villeneuve's Dune Part 3, which is based on Frank Herbert's novel Dune Messiah, which would be cool to see that. And then one of the biggest ones of the year, I think, for me and you, is The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's new film. I mean, I was going to try and list the cast, but it's got bloody everyone in it.
Whole evening.
Is that one you're highly anticipating?
On our last podcast, that's my number one. I'd say it's a tie between that and Dune Part 3 for my most anticipated of this year. But The Odyssey for me just edged it because I think like Christopher Nolan doing like a big, fantastical, historical epic with that level of cast as well. I've been lucky enough to see each trailer for it, like at the cinema. I got the preview of the IMAX of it and the scene they showed as well of the Trojan horse. I got to see that at the IMAX before they played the film, which is really cool. Yeah, that one, like there's some films I'm like, that's a day off film, so that's like me gonna be there first thing in the morning watching it. Yeah, can't wait for that.
And then we got Steven Spielberg returning with Disclosure Day.
Yes.
I have to say, Steven Spielberg space movie or Alien space movie, sign me up right now. I'm really impressed with that first trailer that we got recently.
Really intriguing. Like, just doesn't spoil too much.
Definitely, and I think this has probably gone right up there with The Odyssey for me for one of the ones I'm excited about this year. So. And then I think the surprise, you were surprised by this, it's Ridley Scott coming in with a film called The Dog Stars, whether that will be the name of it by the end, but it's got Jacob Elordi, Margaret Qualley, Josh Brolin. It says, so after the world's population has been ravaged by a pandemic, a man lives lonesome existence in a Colorado airplane hangar with his dog and Dow gunman he has befriended. So that could be an interesting one, I think, from Ridley Scott.
Post-apocalyptic vibes.
You know me. You know how I love a post-apocalyptic film.
You do. I did. Well, like you said before we came onto this podcast, I knew he was. I mean, he's constantly making something, but I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know this was the one that was coming out this year. So yeah, I'm interested. I need to read a little bit more about it because I just didn't know it was this one that was coming out. The thing is, with Ridley Scott, you either get like something that's as you know now, like it can be brilliant, it can be entertaining. Like I had good fun with Gladiator 2. It's nowhere near on the first one, but I had good fun with it. But then you have like Napoleon, House of Gucci, which are like, it's entertaining, but will you ever want to rush to rewatch Napoleon again? Are you going to rush to rewatch House of Gucci or The Last Duel again? Probably not.
See, I wonder. I didn't mind. I wasn't mad at The Last Duel. I wonder if not being sort of like Napoleon is based on a real person, House of Gucci, this not being based on that might actually help it along a bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Ridley Scott's best films come from that.
Yeah, agreed. I love The Martian. That was great. Obviously, we discussed on that podcast where we went through everything he'd done. Gladiator, Alien, just perfect films. And then fair play to him because he pumps them out constantly, and I do like how he just doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks, which is always quite funny and refreshing to hear. But at the same time, it's like he seems to also get quite annoyed when people don't like the films or don't show up for them. But I'll be watching this one. I'll watch anything he does.
Yeah, definitely. So moving on then from directors, 2025 wasn't a massive year for superhero movies. I don't think we had Brave New World, which was crap. Superman, which the start of the DC universe, which is really good.
We had Fantastic Four. We had, yeah,
I'm forgetting
we
all the
had,
Marvel stuff, all the Marvel films. Marvel back to releasing 3 in a year then.
yeah, that was it. We also, I think, yeah, we had Peacemaker and Creature Commandos on TV. So it was, yeah, Marvel. I mean, I liked
I like
Fantastic
Thunderbolts.
Four and Thunderbolts.
Fantastic
Like
Four
they
was
were
all right.
solid. But like again,
Brave New World was
Superman for
crap.
me was leagues above.
Yeah.
Superman, I loved.
So 2026 then, we'll stay on DC. So DC have got Supergirl and Clayface coming out. Supergirl's directed by Craig Gillespie. Clayface is directed by someone you've actually interviewed, James Watkins.
Yeah, hopefully I get a chance to talk to him about this. That'd be
Yeah,
very
that'd be
cool.
cool. So what do you think of these two releases?
I mean, Clayface for me, I love the fact it exists as a comic book geek. Like I'm a big fan of Clayface. Like I think he's a really interesting villain, to Batman, and I love his ties to like the world of acting and film. I love the fact. I'm just going to read out the synopsis we've got here for it. A Hollywood horror tale, which I'm on board with, centering on the actor who injects himself with a substance to keep himself relevant, only to find out he can reshape his face and form, becoming a walking place. Like, I think this is going to has the potential to be really unique and interesting. And I love the fact that James Gunn is really pushing the diversity of the films and DC so far. Like this one was never originally part of their plan when he took over. He just loved the script from Mike Flanagan, which is also a great sign to have on board. And they greenlit it, and it was like straight into action. And oh, I can't wait for that. Like the idea of like a body horror set in the world of films. I know we've had it similarly with The Substance, and I have no doubt this is going to have Substance vibes. But the geek in me is just saying it in Gotham with the DC world. I think it's going to be really interesting.
I think this universe in the hands of someone like James Gunn, who did such a good job with Guardians of the Galaxy in Marvel films, it's obviously like they're having the Kevin Feige of the DC world, which it needed after that atrocity that we saw of the DCEU over the past 15 years, however long it was. I think those sort of characters, to see them coming to the screen will be great. Because they're weird characters. They're like the characters in Guardians.
That's what I love about Superman. Was like he was like, have Metamorpho, have Hawk Girl, Guy Gardner's Green Lantern, some more like a bit deeper cuts. And like I think Clayface is going to be a really fresh. Hopefully, like has the reaction that Joker got, where it's like, oh, this is really different. But it's based in DC. Supergirl, I think, looks great fun. I think it looks like
I agree.
There's big Williams vibes to the trailer. It's more punky and scrappy than Superman. I think Alcock's great casting for the kind of snarky, sarcastic vibe to it. And Jason Momoa as Lobo is going to be a lot of fun because he looks pretty much, he was born to play that character by appearance alone. So I'll be, and I mean, like we said, Craig Gillespie directing it. Like Tanya's great. I think he direct Cruella as well, which is probably
he did.
The Disney live action film. So yeah, I'm very much on board with this one.
Marvel then, and they've got Spider-Man: Brand New Day, which obviously sees the return of Tom Holland, and it brings in Sadie Sink into the Marvel universe.
Yes.
That'd be cool to see the next installment of Spider-Man. There's not too much more on that at the moment. John Bernthal returns as the Punisher,
and
as well.
Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, or Bruce Banner.
And then at the end of the year, we've got the big one, Avengers Doomsday, which I think was revealed in the last couple of days, could be 3 hours and 45 minutes long.
Christ. 3 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
I've put in my notes for this about the cast. It brings back the Russo brothers, but the cast is everyone.
Yeah.
It's not like the Odyssey.
As well.
It is everyone.
Like this film for me, like I know we were just mentioning Marvel's had a rocky start. Basically, this year they're going to be sorted money wise because both of these are making $1 billion. Both that and Spider-Man,
Easily.
like they're making money. But man, I just the weird what I kind of with Avengers Doomsday for me, it's like it's weird that people don't the hype, the bubbling hype of Infinity War and Endgame is not there. However,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be fascinated. One, they've kept it very hush hush what it's actually about, which I like. I'm fascinated to see how this film basically is cobbled together with the amount of changes that
Yeah.
had to be done. And look, don't get me wrong, I'll be there day one because if you don't, you get everything spoiled. And also, just
Well,
yeah,
we
they're
might have
gonna
to be
hit.
there. We might have to be there at the press screening because they still get spoiled from
Yeah, we'll
then.
have to fight over that. We're banging that now. The nostalgia factor, of course. Like, don't get me wrong. Like that X-Men trailer they released, look,
Mm-hmm.
they've got me on that. And the fact that they do the moments that are going to hit in the nostalgia and the emotion, of course. But no, I'm just part of me is still skeptical whether or not it's actually going to work. And there's a sense of like very much desperation to it in
You'd
terms
like
of
to
bringing
hope
back
if they've
all
got
the familiar faces.
3 hours and 45 minutes
If it's three
that they'd
hours
be
or
able to
45,
make it work.
that's longer. That is longer than Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
And the Iron. Oh, Martin Scorsese somewhere is like.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know how true those rumors are, but that's what.
I wouldn't be
That's what.
surprised. I honestly, the amount they've got to fit in, I would not be surprised.
Yeah. And the last one I've got in this category, I've kind of shoehorned this one in because it's not
Yeah.
really superhero, but Star Wars, Mandalorian, and Grogu. It's obviously the return of the Mandalorian and his little friend. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys again. I fell off the back end of the last series a little bit. It's started to get a little bit tiresome, but I'm looking forward to seeing them in just a little, 2.5 hour film back in the Star Wars universe. And yeah, so looking forward to that one. Sigourney Weaver's joining them, Jeremy Allen White's jumping in there. So I think that'll hopefully be a good return to the Star Wars universe this year.
I hope it's fun. Like for me, I'm going to purely be going into it for an entertaining sci-fi
Hmm.
adventure because I haven't watched. I watched the first season of The Mandalorian, and that is all I
That's
have
it.
seen.
That's
So
all she
I
wrote.
honest, and to be honest with you, like it's not like I'm like I just all I thought while watching the trailer from was this just looks like an episode of a TV show. And
Hmm.
it's almost like we've got to get a Star Wars film out at some point because it's been 7 years now. But
Let's use
I'm
use
sure
what
it'll
we've
do
got.
well.
Yeah.
I just part of me thinks if it does, honestly, I think it'll do decently. I think honestly, it'll be I thinking like Solo level where
Hmm.
it may not do big numbers, but hopefully it's pretty solid and entertaining.
Yeah.
They're going to make billions of dollars from new Grogu toys, so they're all good.
So our next category then is horror. So do you want to take us through our horror films that we've sort of
Yes,
pointed out?
there's some excellent, I'm just going through now, some really good stuff coming out this year. First up, we've got The Bride,
Hmm.
um, our second Frankenstein
Yeah.
centric film to come out in the past few months. This is in March, the start of March. I mean, fantastic cast, Jesse Buckley and Christian Bale in the lead, Jake Gyllenhaal, and it's directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Hmm.
This is like a Bonnie and Clyde spin of the Frankenstein tale. I love Jessie Buckley. I think she's great. I saw Hamnet recently. She's fantastic in that. Christian Bale obviously is great in everything, and I'm interested. What was he last in? Just thinking about it
Cool.
now. I haven't seen him for.
I'm gonna do a quick
Yeah, I just
research while we're sat here.
yeah. I probably look. But yeah, so that looks like be interesting to see how it does. It looks like it's supposed to be a more darker, more violent spin. I think it looks like a righteous kind of comedy, horror, action riff.
So
Again,
his
sounds a lot of
last
fun.
film, Christian Bale's last film, was The Pale Blue Eye, which was the
Oh, the Netflix
Netflix
Edgar
one.
Allan Poe one. I can't remember anything about that apart from the fact I watched it. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to The Bride.
Yeah, so I didn't actually catch Frankenstein at the cinema. I watched it at home. I have seen it, watched it at home. Look forward to this different sort of spin on it.
Yeah,
I feel like the trailers, what we've seen there,
it's always well
they
done.
look quite intriguing. Yeah, yeah, I'll definitely catch this one.
A lot of Jesse Buckley cackling and Christian Bale. I'm very much looking forward to that. The next films, two of which are both by excellent directors who have come out in recent years with fantastic horror films. First of which, Resident Evil, directed by Zach Cregger, who brought us the
Yeah.
awesome Weapons last year and the thoroughly entertaining Barbarian a couple of years before. I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil. I don't know if you've played many of
No, yeah.
them.
I've not played the games, but I love the films. I think the films are really cool.
Oh, this is probably going to be a very different vibe to the films.
Hmm.
Um, I love the games. I'm a big fan of them, and looking forward to the new one this year.
Yeah.
We get a new film and a new game, and we had the Welcome to Raccoon City film, which came out a couple of years ago, which no one
Hmm.
watched.
No,
And
I didn't.
thankfully, yeah, Kroger is a big fan of the game, so he took it like apparently he was wanting to do this.
Hmm.
There's not really a synopsis for it yet, but in interviews I've seen with him, he just keeps emphasizing it's set in the world of the games, whether or not it's going to
Hmm.
feature characters from them. But if it's anything like Weapons and Barbarian, I'm
No, we're in for
thoroughly
a good ride, I think.
we're in for
Definitely.
a ride. And then the other director who I was going to mention is Robert Eggers, who is back again. Nosferatu came out at the start of last year for UK, but was end of December for
Hmm.
US in 24. He's back again with, I don't know if it's werewolf or werewolf. Um,
Yeah.
it's got most of
When
the
I
Nosferatu.
was searching for this film,
Yeah.
I couldn't find it because no one's going to spell it like that.
I think is so. Also, looking at the cast for this, he's basically said to the cast of Nosferatu, "Hey guys, take a break, and then we're going to start shooting over here because it's got Willem Dafoe, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lily Rose Depp, and yeah, so that's three leads of Nosferatu in there. Just
You
need
reckon it's in the
Nicholas
same
Holt.
universe?
Honestly, or the Eggers verse.
Yeah.
So this is set in 13th century England. The story focuses on local villagers who are stalked by a mysterious creature. Get my words out. As the attacks continue, folklore and superstition bleed into reality. I'm sold. Apparently,
He's
all the
ready.
dialogue in it is going to be 13th century English dialogue. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people walking out of cinemas. I'm hoping it'll be subtitled. I assume it will be, but if not, it's going to be an interesting watch. But Robert Eggers, I've loved everything he's done. I need to rewatch The
Yeah.
Witch. It's been a long time, but everything he's done post Lighthouse onwards, like Northman,
Hmm.
Nosferatu, Lighthouse, it's fantastic. So
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
going to
I've
be a
enjoyed
real treat.
everything. They're an acquired taste, Robert Eggers films,
They are, they are.
but I have enjoyed them.
Well, that's December this year. So that's coming out, I think, the same day as Avengers. So and Dune. So someone's going to move.
Well, yeah,
Next up,
I can
oh sorry,
imagine a few of them are going to move, to be honest.
yeah.
I
Some of
don't think
the
anything's
LP
getting in
from
the way of
Avengers.
Avengers. Yeah.
Next up, we have a couple of sequels. The first
Hmm.
of which now I am skeptical yet genuinely quite excited. Skeptical because it's a January horror film, and the trailers I think visually look like spot on, but dialogue and performances
Mm.
maybe a bit shaky. And that is Return to Silent Hill. This is out in a couple of weeks, 23rd of January. I'm a huge fan of the game Silent Hill 2, which this is directly adapting. I'm really looking forward to this, to seeing it on the big screen. The director, Christoph Gans, he did the first Silent Hill film, which I think
Hmm.
is solid and a lot of people like. They think it's one of the better video game adaptations. He has come back to do this sequel, which ignores the god awful Silent Hill Revelation movie. And so this is going to be a direct adaptation of Silent Hill 2, which is one of my favorite horror games. So I'm hopeful but worried at the same time for this
Yeah,
one.
I've
The
got no
You got
affiliation to
no
the
stake
Silent
in that.
Hill. The next one, however, I do
Yes,
big
that's
one.
fine. This one is another sequel to a film that was a big like hit when it came out, like a
Hmm.
surprising hit landed. 2019 it came out. This sequel it comes out this in March or April, I believe. It's Ready or Not 2, Here I Come, which
Yes.
They had that title sat there perfectly. Samara Weaving is awesome. Yeah, Samara Weaving is awesome. She's a scream queen.
This first film is, if someone asks me on the spot, I'll recommend me a film, I always go to Ready or Not. I
Ready or not?
absolutely love this film. I think Samara Weaving was great in it. I like the addition of Catherine Newton as well. I think she's been really good
Yes.
in a lot of things, and the
We've
fact
also
that
got
the directors are returning as well, which is cool.
we've also got Sarah Michelle Gellar and David
Yeah.
Cronenberg acting in it as well. It literally looks like the first film done with a different game, so I'm 100% on board with that.
Well, poor Samara Weaving, because it says moments after surviving an all-out attack from the family, she jumps right back in.
I think it does literally pick up from her sat outside smoking a cigarette covered in blood.
Bless her.
Yeah, I can't wait. I need to,
That'd
like,
be
the
good.
first one, I think, is really entertaining. I need to rewatch it before this one 'cause it's
Hmm.
been a while. I think and hope this one does well because it's always the thing with, like, sort of, I say belated sequels. It's because we're so used to sequels popping out like 2 or 3 years after. This will be 7 years because the first one, oh no, 2018 or 19, the first one.
Hmm.
It's been a while. I'm glad it finally is happening, especially because Samara Weaving's got more of a pull now. She's like been in so many films
Yeah.
since Ready or Not. Um, so I'm very much looking forward to this. I think it'll be good fun.
So our next category then is going to be animations. I've put slash remake just because there's one film that I think is worth mentioning briefly. So the first animation, we've got the fifth installment of Toy Story, which I'm still not sure how I feel about this. I feel like they should have cut it off after three.
I haven't seen four yet.
You haven't seen four.
Not yet. No, I will at some point, but like I'm the same as you. I think three ended perfect.
I mean, I like that they're bringing in a tablet called LilyPad, I think it's called,
Yeah,
which I think is actually an intriguing concept because, I mean, I've got a little nephew and you can see the difference where kids are going now with their toys and
sort
stuff like that.
devices.
It is very geared towards that. So it'd be interesting to see how these characters are in this sort of modern world now. But I do have a lot of affiliation to Toy Story, so I'm very
Yeah. No,
critical.
I need to rewatch one, two, and three. It's been ages
Hmm.
since I've seen those. Four, as I say, I've not seen. I've heard like some
So,
people are like this is completely pointless, and some people are like, yeah, but it's still good. But it's they make money, of course. And this is the
yeah,
Pixar routine, though. If something flops, it's like, don't worry, we're going back to what you remember. So I think Elio flopped last year. All right, it's fine. We've got Toy Story 5. We'll try something else. That'll flop. It's all right. We got Incredibles 3.
well, speaking of that, we've actually got a second Pixar film coming this year called Hoppers, which
Yes.
is where human minds into beavers. I feel like this could be one of those, like you just mentioned, this could be one of
It,
them flops,
the,
and then they come
the
back with,
poster,
here's Toy Story 5.
the poster's up at my local cinema now, so I see that staring at me now each time I go in there. And I saw a bit of the trailer, and I was like,
Hmm.
probably won't be watching this.
No,
And this is part of the problem of why they're bombing.
yeah.
It just, yeah, I mean, and looking at your notes, this is a debut director as well, which,
Hmm.
always a bit of a risky move, but,
It's
I'm
it's nice
sure,
to see them getting opportunities
yeah,
in
of
that sort of
course.
world, but
I just think for me with Pixar, I'm like, I haven't, the last one, I can't even remember the last newest one I watched.
mhm,
I think it was Lightyear. And that
yeah.
wasn't that great. It was fine.
I think with
And then apart
Pixar,
from
they
that,
had
I think,
they had such a good, Toy Story in 1994. They had such a good, I'm going to say 15, 16 year run up till about 2010. And then I think they started to keep trying these new stories and they just weren't quite hitting. So then, like you said, they just went, okay, we'll make Incredibles 2 and Toy Story 4 and Toy Story 5. And
yeah. I
Yeah.
do need to. What I am missing a few essentials. I tell you
Mhm.
what, and this is going to be blasphemous. And I actually, do you know what? I'll quit. I won't. So we don't take up too much time. It was the first time where I'd been messaged multiple people when I earlier last year I put on my Instagram. I was like, I'm watching Ratatouille for the first time, to which I got I, to which I got several messages going, "You are
Look at
joking." And
Remy.
I was,
He's judging you. He's judging you.
he is. He's staring. I
It's
know
my
he's staring at me on his
favorite.
little
It's my
jetpack.
favorite Pixar film.
I tell you what, I was like, this rules. It was phenomenal. I loved it, and I was like, all right, I have got to give all them a chance. I still need to watch Coco, um, but
It's going to come up again, Ratatouille, later on in the podcast. I'm just saying that now.
Ratatouille. But yeah, anyway,
So
but yeah,
then we've got two sequels. We've got the Super Mario Galaxy movie
yeah,
and Minions 3. I think these two are going to be obviously massive blockbuster hits. We're going to get
both making $1 billion.
the return of the teenagers in their minion suits once again, I imagine.
I haven't seen any Despicable Me or Minions, so I've got no no investment in that. I like the first Mario film. I thought it was fine. I'll
No,
watch
yeah,
the
I thought
second
it was
one.
good fun. I think it's a cool world to be in. It's bright, vibrant, and I like the game, so I'm
Yeah.
interested in that. And then the final one is actually a live action remake, and that's the live action Moana. I think it's a bit weird it's coming out this year because we only had Moana 2
Yeah.
last year. Not that I've seen Moana 2.
I haven't seen Moana.
No, I mean I've only seen it once, but I mean it's got the Thomas Cale, who's the director of Hamilton, in charge. So, and we got a lead, someone in the debut role.
Yeah,
So
and Mr. Rock, Mr. Smashing Machine is back.
yeah, built for that role.
I also like how The Rock was like with the Smashing Machines. Like, I'm doing proper low budget drama films now. Like, I want to branch out. And he's got Moana 2 and Jumanji
Moana.
4 out this year. like so that lasted one film.
That actually leads us on quite well then to sort of big stars. So
I mean,
we have got actually coming this week. We've got
yeah,
the RIP or the RIP. Not
the Rip,
sure.
I think. I'm not sure. I haven't heard it spoken yet.
No, neither have I. Which stars Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Seems like this
Yep.
is going to be a bit like The Town, maybe something
Yeah,
along those
hopefully.
lines. It's like a heisty kind of movie. It should be cool to see them two get together again.
It's one of those ones that I wish was at the cinema, but at the same time, it's probably going to do big numbers on Netflix.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and then we have Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu's new film Digger, which sees Tom Cruise finally out of Mission Impossible films.
Yeah, actually not playing Ethan Hunt.
So this is to read the synopsis here. The most powerful man in the world embarks on a frantic mission to prove he is humanity's savior before the disaster he's unleashed destroys everything. It looks like from the trailer this is going to be like a comedic drama kind of
Yeah,
kind of spin. But it's not trailer
I
really. It
think
was a tiny teaser.
tease it was great. I love the Gorillas tune in the background and Tom
Hmm.
Cruise doing a strange little dance. So I'm very much on board. I like The Revenant and Birdman, so I think this is going to be yeah, this one I'm very excited for.
Definitely. We have another heist movie starring Denzel Washington, and that's called Here Comes the Flood. It's from director Fernando Mireles, who directed City of God and more recently The Two Popes. So it's be interesting to see this director going into this world. It's got Robert Pattinson in it, Daisy Edgar Jones. Sign me up to a heist movie any day of the week.
I think this is actually a Netflix one as well, so hopefully it
Is
gets a
it?
bit of a cinema release. I think so, yeah.
We had a trailer for this next one called The Sheep Detectives, which caught me very off guard.
Same here. I love it. I honestly love it.
I think it actually looks like real fun. What
I do as well.
you're the one that sort of put this on our list, so take it.
The Sheep Detectives looks like an Agatha Christie murder mystery except you follow they're all talking sheep. Their shepherd gets murdered. Their shepherd, played by Hugh Jackman, gets murdered, and the sheep band together to find out who murdered him. The trailer is it's love it. It's either going one way. It's either going to
That's
be one of
shit,
those
innit?
terrible films that's so bad it's actually quite insane, or it could be an absolute winner for family watchers at like the cinema. I sent it to my family group chat. I said, "You want to watch this?" No one replied to me. I was livid. And then I think it looks so charming and ridiculous, and I'll be there. The voice cast is insane as well.
But
I
yeah,
didn't know the
yes.
full cast list up here, but Bryan Cranston's in it. I mean, you've got live action cast. You've got Hugh Jackman, Emma Thompson, Bryan Cranston's on the voices. I think I've forgotten her name.
Patrick
Who plays
Stewart.
Ellie? Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart's in it.
Um,
Bella Ramsey,
and that's who plays Ellie in The Last of Us.
Nicholas Braun, Molly Gordon, Chris O'Dowd.
It's stacked.
There's a lot
like,
going
and they're
on.
making sheep puns. It's a real, yeah. I can't wait. The Sheep Detective is sweet.
So our next category then, we've got sort of IP remakes and sequels. We've got the interesting. I'm not sure if it's a sequel. I think it's a sequel, but it's the Social Reckoning, which is a
Standalone
follow-up.
sequel, apparently.
Yeah, follow-up to The Social Network from 2010 and directed by Aaron Sorkin. How do you feel about this one?
You know what, with this, I'm like, I think The Social Network's great. It's not my
Mhm,
favorite David Fincher. This one for me, I mean, the cast is fantastic. You know, Mikey Madison, Jeremy Allen White, and Jeremy Strong. So that's a
mhm.
great triple bill. I think Jeremy Strong is playing Mark Zuckerberg in it, which he's going
Okay.
to bring a different energy to Jesse Eisenberg,
Yeah,
who apparently did turn down coming back. He was like, um,
he just
I
wants
mean,
to do
you know,
his magic films.
yeah. I mean, I like the trial of the Chicago 7. I haven't seen Molly's Game yet. I know a lot of people
Mhm.
say that Aaron Sorkin's a stronger writer than he is a director. You know, I'll be very interested to see how this turns out. I think the cast is excellent, and it's coming out in October, I believe. So probably start
Yeah.
getting to see snippets of it soon, like the first poster or first set photos and stuff. Yeah, I'm on board.
So one film I think we have seen some snippets from is the remake of Wuthering Heights that's got
Yeah,
Margot Robbie and Jake Elordi in
Wuthering
it.
Heights.
Directed by Emerald Fennell, who recently did Saltburn, which is obviously a big hit.
I've not read the book. I did not like Saltburn that much. This,
Mhm.
though, I'm on board with. I'm a big fan of Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi. I think it looks stunning as well. The cinematography looks amazing on it, and I'm a sucker for a kind of period drama romance. Like I like Little Women and Pride and Prejudice. So I mean, I don't have, you know, my friend, she's a big fan of the book, and she's like, no, this ain't it. It
It's quite
doesn't look
happening.
like what the book is. I mean, you know, I haven't read the book, so I'm just sort of going by. I think the visuals look amazing. I think the cast is
Mhm.
good. It's actually coming to the IMAX, so you know, I think it's gonna do really well. You know, it comes out on Valentine's
Yeah,
Day,
I think it's one of
and
those that
also
will just sneak up on people that.
yeah. And Margot Robbie and Jake Elordi are big draws. The Wuthering Heights name is a big draw, so I think it's going to do well, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So next up, I don't know what your connection to this sort of world is, but that's this
Not
the
much.
Masters of the Universe from director Travis Knight. Me neither. I mean, I know of He-Man and is
Yeah,
it Skeletor that's the
Skeletor,
villain?
who Jared Leto is playing in this, apparently.
Yeah.
This has been in development for ages. Like this has been in development for ages. Travis Knight. I haven't seen Kubo and the Two Strings. He's the director of
Well,
this. Travis Knight.
it's a really good animation, Cuba and Two Strings. I'd definitely recommend it.
Bumblebee is good fun.
Yeah, I thought
I
Bumblebee
man,
was good.
I'll watch it. I mean, I'll just gotta make it clear. Everything on here, I'm probably watching. Maybe not Hoppers or Minion 3, but everything on there I will go out of my way to try and watch. And I, you know,
Hmm.
lastly, I just, you know, a big goofy, dumb, fancy action movie. I'm on board. Um, I think the cast is pretty stacked as well. I know Jared Leto's
Yeah.
in it. We've got a couple of people named on here. Morena Baccarin, isn't it, who plays Deadpool's girlfriend in the movies? Idris Elba
Hmm.
is in this.
Yeah.
Alison Brie, Kristen Wiig. Oh, this is the James Purefoy. This is a really stacked cast. Yeah,
I
I'm
think
on
it's
board. I'll be
one of
watching
those
it.
one of those franchises that could go further. So a lot of people want to attach themselves to it so they can get the payday.
Yeah, they've done a few animated series on Netflix that I think Kevin Smith wrote or created, but apart
Mm-hmm.
from that, I've not watched the original movie with Dolph Lundgren in, which
Yeah.
I know for some is like a cult favorite, but I haven't got around to that yet.
So we also have a couple of, well, we have a sequel and a prequel sequel kind of thing. So we've got the new Hunger Games film, which follows the most recent one, which was Songbirds and Snakes. Is that the most recent one?
So yeah, I haven't seen. I've only seen the
From the
first two.
director. It's from the director of The Long Walk, so I think that would be cool. I think we
Yeah,
both enjoyed that. And
love
then
that.
obviously at the end of this month, we've got 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
Yes,
Well, is that next week?
that's this week. That's
This week.
Wednesday. Yeah, that it has its like previews on Wednesday.
As we were discussing just before, I saw that film about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah. Elliot got he knows all the secrets of the Bone Temple. He had to hold them over Christmas.
And then the final one, then on this one, it's Greta Gerwig's Narnia, which I think we've discovered is going to be titled Narnia, the Magician's Nephew. So it'd be interesting to see what she can do with this world. I feel
Yep.
I'm I like I like the first one that they did
I have a lot of nostalgia for that film. Like, yeah,
whenever it was 2003,
6 or 5, 4, around that
4,
area. I was probably
early
in.
2000s.
I love that first film. I remember I used to watch that a load when I was a kid. 2005.
Yeah, 2005.
Um, yeah, big fan.
The
I
others
watched the
I
Prince
can't really
Caspian
remember.
one. I
Yeah, I
haven't
can't
watched
really
the
remember the
third
other
one,
ones.
the Dawn Treader or whatever it was called. Haven't seen that.
I think after what she did with Barbie, I think she did a really good job with Barbie. I think giving her this kind of IP is work out really well.
It's a Netflix one.
So now we're going to move on to our wild card. So do you want to? Should we take it in turns? We'll go one for one. So my first wild card pick is called "The Entertainment System Is Down." This is from director Robert Ostlund, who did Triangle of Sadness. I was a big fan of that film. I know it was a bit divisive, but I was a big fan of that film. So I'm looking forward to seeing what this can do. It's set on a long haul flight where the entertainment system fails, and a group of passengers have to force to, you know,
Yeah,
talk. I imagine.
good cast as well.
Yeah, it's got Keanu Reeves, Kirsten Dunst. Let's see who else. Daniel Bruhl.
Yeah,
You know, it's this to me is interesting to me just because I really did enjoy the Triangle of Sadness. So I'm just interested to see what this guy can do next.
yeah. No, I'll be watching
So
that.
what?
I like Triangle of Sadness. I thought it was a little bit. I think it went on a little bit when they went into like the jungle bit towards the end, but I really loved all the
Yeah.
stuff on the boat. My first wild card is Mother Mary. This is
Hmm.
directed by David Lowery, who did the excellent Green Knight and A Ghost Story, which I loved. This is it looks. I mean, it's from A24, and it
Hmm.
absolutely looks like an A24 movie. It looks like a mixture of like Black Swan, with even more of an injection of trippy horror. I love The Green Knight. I think that is visually one of like the most striking films I've seen in a long time. I love A Ghost Story. I like David Lowery's sort of slow burn, atmospheric style. And this looks more intense. It's got Anne Hathaway, who I'm a big fan of. The synopsis of this is long buried wounds rise to the surface when an iconic pop star, Mother Mary, reunites with her estranged best friend and former costume designer on the eve of her comeback performance. So it's going to be a like psychological drama with trippy visuals and a bit of horror in there. So I'm very much
Hmm.
on board for that. That's out, I think, in March. whether or not we'll probably get about 5 months later because it's A24.
So my next one then is Project Hail Mary, which there's a few trailers out for now. This is from Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Stars Ryan Gosling, space race sort of movie to save the world. He meets an alien, and go and watch the trailer. It looks really fun. It's based on a book, I believe.
I'm
The
actually
same
reading the book at
writer
the moment.
as.
I'm reading the book
It's
at
the
the
same
moment.
writer as The Martian, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I'm about
David
halfway
Weir.
through the book. It's great. I'm really reading the book at the same time as making more and more excited for the film. Yeah, I think the film, like, I completely agree. It looks like a real fun space romp. Especially as I said, reading the book now, it seems to have nailed the vibe very well.
That's
And
good.
also the trailer is not spoiling too much. Obviously, reading the book is a bit of a thing before,
It's
but
good
I
to
was like,
know.
I really want to read more this year, and I went for that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. And I'm a big fan of Ryan Gosling, so
Hmm.
he's always good. Next one for me is this one I only found out existed when I was listening to another podcast. This is Jack of Spades. It's barely got any of a synopsis. It's all it says is Gothic mystery set in the 1880s in Scotland. That I'm a huge fan of Gothic noir and mystery. So this is directed by Joel Cohen, who was the Cohen brother that did the tragedy of Macbeth, which I was a big fan
Hmm.
of. Not Ethan, who's doing like Honey Doe and the other one that I've got Drive Away Dolls. So very different vibes.
It's got a good cast as
This,
well, this, isn't it?
yeah, Josh O'Connor and Frances McDormand are heading it up. Josh O'Connor's been great recently in all
Hmm.
everything that I've seen him in. Frances McDormand is, she's a legend. She's been in a lot of Coen Brother flicks. Honestly, I mean, they don't need to give me any more of a synopsis because Gothic mystery set in 1880s Scotland. I mean, I was a fan of Tragedy Macbeth, so if he brings that style and kind of cryptic plotting to this, I'm very much
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
This next one for me, I'm going to read you of what we know so far, and you'll know exactly why it's on my list. Family in the 80s start to notice bizarre happenings in their neighborhood, rumored to be a time travel film involving dinosaurs.
It's Elliot Lines.
This is Flower Vale Street. It's directed by David Robert Mitchell, who did It Follows. Early signs, it looks like I've got Anne Hathaway, Ewan McGregor, time travel, space, dinosaurs. It's a bit like 65 a few years ago. 65 did that for me a few years ago. I was happy with that.
This one's
So,
been developing for ages. This kept getting pushed back, I
yeah,
remember.
long
I'm
time.
very intrigued by this one as well.
So, yeah, there's not too much more we can say on that one, sort of at the minute. But
Yeah.
like Jack said, that sums my movie taste up perfectly.
80s nostalgia, dinosaurs, time travel, he said. My next one is Paper Tiger.
Hmm.
This one I also found out fairly recently. This is directed by James Gray, who did the underrated and brilliant Ad Astra, starring Brad Pitt.
Hmm.
I need to see a few other of his films. I still need to see Armageddon Time and The Lost City of Zed. But this
The Lost
stars
City
Adam
is
Driver.
really good.
Yeah, I've heard it's great. I
Yeah,
need to really go on
it's
that.
a really good film.
This stars Adam Driver, Miles Teller, and Scarlett Johansson. This is much more of a return to his sort of grounded, grittier kind of crime films that I know he's done a few of before he sort of branched out. So it focuses on two brothers pursuing the American dream, but they get entangled in a dangerous Russian mafia scheme that terrorizes their family, testing their bond as betrayal becomes possible. Huge sucker for films like this, like mafia flicks and crime dramas, especially with a cast like that, and James Gray, who's the really solid director. This one hasn't got it just says TBA 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that one.
So my next one is a animated film, and this is where the Ratatouille comes into it. So it's the director of Ratatouille, Brad Bird, and the film's called Ray Gun. The synopsis at the moment is: in a futuristic world cohabited by aliens and humans, the last human private eye is hired to investigate the fidelity of a well-known pop star. As people may know, my favourite animated film ever is Ratatouille. So anything that Brad Bird does,
Yeah, with there.
I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah. This one he's been working on for a while as well, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Like he hasn't done a film since. Did he do The Incredibles 2? Did he direct that?
I'll tell you right now. He
Mm,
did, yes.
okay. I mean, I love that first Incredibles film is incredible. The Iron Giant is great. I still need to watch Tomorrowland. Was it? Did he do that?
Yeah,
Um,
Tomorrowland he did
I
that.
mean, this will be if this comes out this year. I'm very much on board with that. I know he's been working on it for a while. Yeah,
Which
sounds
hopefully
good.
is a good sign that he wants to make it right. Things not too many more to go now.
Yeah.
Few
My
more.
next one. My next one is. I mean, we could go on. Like, there's so many on this list, and people like there's gonna be you are not going to be stuck for films this year.
There is another 30 that we could go through on top of this list if we wanted to.
It's all right.
But
Oh my
yeah,
god.
to your next.
Um, my next one is Wild Horse 9,
Mm-hmm.
which is directed by Martin McDonagh, who did one of my favorite films of all time, In Bruges. One of my favorite comedy films, just one of my favorite films of all time, and the excellent Banshees of Inisherin, which came out
Yeah.
a few years ago. He also did Three Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. Wild Horse Night, again, this is another one that I knew he was doing something, but I didn't know it was this. Again, this is a TBC for this year to be confirmed, but it's set in Chile in 1973, and the film follows CIA operatives Chris and Lee, whose trust in one another is tested to its limits on a trip to Easter Island. Look, if it's the same vibe as In Bruges and in Sheeran, then I'm 100% in. I love Martin McDonagh's blend of dark comedy with, quite raw drama as well as like moments
Yeah.
of like violence. Starring Sam Rockwell, John Malkovich, and Steve Buscemi. So that's a great triple cast head up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, that's a
so
double
yeah,
whammy for Sam Rockwell because he's also in Reagan.
and he's also in that new one with by Gore Verbinski that's coming out, like "Be Careful, Don't Die" or whatever it was. That's quite good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's popping up Sam Rockwell, but yeah, very much looking forward to. I mean, Martin McDonagh's he's a great writer, and I say In Bruges is one of my favorite of all time. So yeah, very much looking forward to this.
So my final film, and you will be happy to know,
Yes.
is Send Help, which is a new film from Sam Raimi, who did obviously Spider-Man, done The Evil Dead. It's got Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien in it, where two colleagues become stranded on a deserted island. They're only survivors of a plane crash. I just think this, with Sam Raimi at the helm, this could just be a really interesting sort of
Yeah.
thrillery, horror, maybe even a horror twist on that sort of deserted island story. I really like the two leads with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. So
Yeah.
look forward to
Sam
that one.
Raimi, I'm on
Mm-hmm.
board. I love the Evil Dead movies. He's one of my favorite. I love obviously the Spider-Man flicks. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness was really good. He managed to get in his sort of Raimiisms in there. And this looks like a real throwback, lower budget, darkly comedic, but really intense thriller. I love the vibe of the
Yeah.
trailer that came out. Rachel McAdams is awesome. So, I
Mm-hmm.
think it's going to be really good fun. That's out not too long. I think start of February.
End of the month. I think it's
End of the month.
oh no, end of next
America,
month.
I think at the end of the month. I think
Yeah.
nice one. Very much looking forward to that. My last one. This one I only saw the trailer for recently. It
Mm-hmm.
looks awesome. It is called They Will Kill You. Stars Zazie Beetz, who played Domino in Deadpool and was in The Joker,
Mm-hmm.
and Tom Felton and Heather Graham. This I watched the trailer for this for the first time a couple of days ago before I sent through my wild cards because I was like, God,
Mhm.
this looks awesome. It looks like a real Tarantino-esque, grindhousey, practical action flick mixed with a bit of the Raid and Dread. So it's a
Mhm.
woman asks as a help wanted ad to be a housekeeper in a mysterious high rise in New York. Not realizing she is entering a community that has seen a number of disappearances over the years and may be under the grip of the satanic cult. Awesome premise. I love a kind of someone's stuck in a one location has to fight their way out, like Dread and the Raid. Zazie Beetz is cool. The trailer vibe is just proper gory, violent, frenetic, well cut together action and martial arts. This comes out in May or
Yeah, I don't
April.
think too far out.
It looks
Yeah.
awesome, man. It came out of nowhere, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
So then that does bring us to the end for today. We have mentioned just around 40 plus movies there. If there's if you can't find anything to watch in amongst that, then
You're the problem.
not sure what you're doing. There's a lot coming out this year, guys. I know you're looking forward to this year of films. I definitely am. We're going to try and bring you as many of these as possible on the site. So thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for going through this.
No worries.
So like, rate and subscribe wherever you're watching or listening. You can find more of our work at filmfocusonline.com. Follow us on all socials at filmfocusonline, and don't miss our next episode for more great films discussions. Thank you for joining us, and it's goodbye.
Goodbye.